Uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom! Let's talk about the Scarl, the Scarl, the Carl, no, I've never called it that before. I don't know why I'm saying that. That's a terrible idea. I also don't know why the M249 has to be this damn loud. I mean, that's loud. The Scarl, the darling of the new 5.56 AR meta as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to talk about why I think this gun should really be looked at by a lot more people. There's a couple of factors that have gone together to make this a much better weapon for me now than it has previously been. I also want to talk about the reason you run a 5.56 AR in the first place. And a lot of people still don't understand that, but we'll get to that as well. And if you haven't already, we've given away 10 lots of UC on the Discord server in the past week. So if you haven't joined the Discord server, all you got to do is join up. And if you're on the Discord server and you're not joining in on the giveaways, why not? There's like a channel there called giveaway. All you literally have to do is go up to it and click on a little party icon and you're entered. That's it. It's not hard. Anyway, the spreadsheets are on there too. But the Scar-L, it's a 5.56 AR. Now, we're going to go over a little bit of a history lesson in a tick, but we'll get to it. It's a 5.56 AR. It does 40 point base 9 damage to the chest area at 0 meters, which is the same. All 5.56 ARs do the same damage, or at least they used to until the FAMAS and the Abacan came along. And now I can't say that anymore. One of the things that originally made my channel quite well known back in the day as the Invisible Molotov eats me alive. Still have time to try and thirst though. Good guys, Pushka. Was that I did a video where I said, hey, 5.56 ARs are all the same. They all have the same rate of fire. They all have the same damage. And people said, that's lies. There's an armory in game. And the armory says exactly what that number is. And it's not that, Pushka. Well, of course, we know that time has told that that armory is gone, and everyone now knows that the 5.56 ARs did, in fact, have the same rate of fire. But then when we went through a dark period where wallet warriors like me could pay for devices that ran 90 frames per second and had a screen the size of a small color television and get a competitive advantage out of you know, having better tech, because 90 frames per second made the M416, the G36C, and the Org 4 fire faster than their counterparts like the QBZ95 and the Scar-L. The M249 is too damn loud. Like, seriously. That is ridiculous. And everyone's using the bloody thing. And that was sad because it meant guns like the Scar-L just didn't get used. With good reason. They weren't as good as the M416 in terms of just pure, simple damage output. This unifying rate of fire has been fantastic because it's meant that guns like the Scar-L are now totally usable again. They have the same rate of fire as an M416. They do the same damage as an M416. And even more importantly, these guns now have custom recoil settings that you can adjust and still have a wonderful 900 meters plus bullet speed. And we're going to get to that in just a short while. Don't think I've forgotten about bullet speed. Every Bushka video is about bullet speed. Now, something that's not talked about enough is the custom recoil settings. In the past, everyone would go to the cheer park or the training room. They would get an M416, a 6X, and try and imitate their favorite montages. So that was great, but you'd set your sensitivity settings up, well, I wouldn't, but most of the players would, to allow them to max out their M416 sprayability, right? That's how it was. It wasn't how I was, but that's how most people were. That meant when you chose another weapon, like a Scar-L that had different recoil characteristics, it was hard to make a 6X spray like that work. Well, no longer. Now you can run a Scar-L and an M24 and have the same kind of crazy ass recoil control that you get on M416 with a perfect custom sensitivity setting and still run a bolt action when you want to do that, or just spray with red dots and things. So guns like the Scar-L, the M762, the QBZ95, they've all become way more viable than they were in previous patches. And I've got to applaud PUBG Mobile for that. I think that is a really positive step for the game itself. Of course, while that is the case, there are other weapons that have entered the arena that have really made people stand up and watch, like the MG3 and the Abacan, and the fact that the UMP got buffed and everyone wants to run a UMP now, or those kind of things. But you have to remind yourself, UMP is great at CQC. The SCAR-L is better than a UMP in any kind of gunfight at 40 meters and beyond. Even before that, because the recoil profile on a moving target is better on a SCAR-L than a UMP when you're at that kind of range, because bullet speed is important. Lots of people don't understand this, but I'll just give you one simple sentence that makes this so much clearer. The bullet that gets there first counts first, right? So if you get your round there quicker than the UMP's round gets there, even though it does more damage than a SCAR-L's round, and even though it fires quicker than a SCAR-L's round, then all that matters is that you got there first, okay? Because the bullet that knocks them, it doesn't matter how much damage it does as long as it gets there before the other guy's gun does. And that's what the SCAR-L does incredibly well. And the SCAR-L, like all the 5.56 ARs, is also super duper versatile. It's a wonderful weapon if you want to just, oh, hello, snakes in the grass of Asia. Who would have thought it? It's a wonderful weapon if you want to be able to run anything in your second slot, from a shotgun to a Mark 14, to an M24, to an AWM, to a M249. It allows you to 6x and 3x spray. It allows you to hip fire. It allows you to tap it out like a DMR. Like, you can run a UMP with this thing and use the SCAR-L as a full spray, or if you're at 200 meters and it's just too far for you, you can use it to tap fire because it's got a super light recoil profile, and it's also got a very, very good bullet speed, and it can mount a 6x. These are the things that make this gun important. There are a lot of ways to play PUBG Mobile. They don't always have to be the same. I understand that. You don't always have to have exactly the same gun as everybody else. And that's something that I love. I actually love the part of the game that makes you make decisions. I like it when someone has to choose between X and Y, because that means there is a skill element there, and you have to adjust your play style and become better at the game to actually take advantage of different weapons and metas and styles. And I never liked the M416 for that, because it takes that it just disappears. You don't need to become better at different weapons, meta and styles, because the M416 just covers everything and you're done. The SCAR-L is a lot closer now to the M4. In fact, I prefer the SCAR-L, and I'm just sick to death of not running an M416. And this gives me a 5.56 AR to run without feeling bad. You couple it with the custom sensitivity settings, the 50 round drum mag you can get on ignition. This is a hell of a weapon now. It is really, really good. Like, it's right up there with the AUG and the M4. Like, there's no doubt about it. To be able to hit your sniper shots and then immediately just switch to a SCAR-L and zoom and just beam them, that's so valuable. And this is one of the reasons why I really love this patch. It's giving us back a lot of diversity. You don't have to run an M4 to compete anymore. There are a lot of other guns that are taking up spaces in the meta. The UMP, I think it's probably a little bit overstated how good it is now, but it takes up a huge slice of the meta for serious players. Like, running a UMP is an important part of the world. That's cool. It's just how it is. I'm going to show you one clip to finish, and it's pretty funny. Well, it's kind of funny. I don't know where the game goes from here in terms of weapons. They keep introducing new guns, and I like that. The MG3 is important. The Abacan is ambitious as all hell, and I like that they're reaching for the stars. And the fact that they've not nerfed the M416, but they have made it... Well, they did nerf the 90 frames per second part of it, so I guess they did nerf the M416, so good on them. But the fact that it's no longer absolutely necessary to just run an M4 is something that I really like. Because for the longest time, 4 was the cash cow of PUBG Mobile. It was the reason that a lot of players played the game. Lying down with an M416 was the go. And, you know, cool. Like, that's what we've got. But now there's more choices, and choices are good. I would love to see them do something to make damage drop off and bullet speed over distance. Watch this. Here we go. He's going to push, and his mate's going to throw a grenade at the same time as he pushes. Knock. Thirst. Oh, dear. Hello, I'm a bullet sponge. Nice to meet you. I'm Bushka. Thanks for watching. Look after yourselves. Stay safe in the battlefield. And bye for now.